All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer, where we're going to dive into a completely mind-bending, radically different way of looking at existence itself. Today, we're unpacking the incredibly fascinating theory that reality, the reality we experience every single day, is actually just a user interface waiting to be hacked. So, cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman poses a question that honestly just shatters our everyday perception. He asks, what if the universe, the stars, literally the ground beneath your feet right now, what if it's all just a simulation? He suggests that we really shouldn't think of our sensory experience as objective reality, but rather as this highly sophisticated VR headset that we've just been wearing since birth. He literally says it's like you're born with a headset on, playing a video game. And this is his core premise. The physical world isn't the ultimate truth. It's absolutely not the baseline of existence. Instead, it's just the game engine that our consciousness happens to be running right now so we can navigate a much deeper, vastly more complex reality. So, here is the absolutely crucial takeaway we're exploring today. Space-time isn't the final frontier. It's just a user interface. And the most thrilling part of all this? Physicists and cognitive scientists are currently searching for the code completely outside of that interface, with the explicit goal of hacking it to unlock unimaginable technological miracles. Section 1. The Space-Time Headset. To really wrap our heads around the limits of the physical world, Hoffman uses this brilliant Grand Theft Auto metaphor. Think about a player inside the game, right? They see steering wheels, red cars, rendered roads. But they are completely unaware of the software engineer outside the game, the person who knows that reality is really just millions of hidden voltages being toggled behind the scenes in some supercomputer. We are the players in the game of spacetime. And, physics itself is actually telling us that the game has a pixel limit. At exactly 10 to the minus 33 centimeters, which is known as the Planck length, our absolute best equations for spacetime, including Einstein's theories in quantum mechanics, they just completely break down. Spacetime literally ceases to have any mathematical meaning whatsoever at that scale. Because of this structural breakdown at the quantum level, Hoffman argues something wild. He argues that our best scientific theories of spacetime will only ever explain a flat 0% of true objective reality. It's like trying to understand the inner workings of a computer's microchip by only looking at the pixels on the monitor. You're never going to figure it out. Which leads us to this crazy conclusion about how we interact with our environment. Just like a video game engine conserves processing power by only rendering a red Mustang when you turn your character's head to look at it, Hoffman argues that you render physical object only when you observe it. When you look away, the object isn't actually there in space-time. Only the underlying code remains. Section 2. Why Evolution Hid Truth. Now, you might be wondering, well, if there's a deeper reality, why would our eyes and ears completely lie to us? According to Hoffman's mathematical simulations of Darwinian evolution, perceiving the actual truth of the universe is a massive evolutionary disadvantage. Organisms that attempt to process objective reality, they go extinct because it just takes way too much time and caloric energy. Evolution optimized us for one thing and one thing only: survival. So, evolution gives us cheap sensory hacks instead of the truth. Take the Australian jewel beetle. It's a great example. The males evolved to find females based on this super simple visual hack: dimpled, glossy, and brown. So when humans started tossing empty beer bottles into the outback that matched those exact criteria, the beetles blindly tried to mate with the glass. Talk about swiping right for all the wrong reasons. Their senses completely ignored reality in favor of a quick evolutionary shortcut. Because evolution relies entirely on these cheap, energy-saving hacks, Hoffman and his colleagues ran the mathematics. And what they found is that the probability that human sensory systems, like our eyes and ears, evolved to see any aspect of objective reality is a staggering 0%. Literally zero. So the big takeaway here is that evolution built our space-time headset strictly to keep us alive long enough to reproduce. It actively keeps the true, incredibly complex nature of the universe completely hidden from our bandwidth-limited brains. We see what we need to see to survive the game, and absolutely nothing more. Section 3. The code outside space-time. Okay, so if space-time is just the headset, what actually lies beyond it? Well, physicists are already probing this realm. Since around 2010, scientists have started finding these incredibly complex mathematical structures. Sometimes they're referred to as obelisks or other geometric objects that operate entirely outside of space and time. And it's these structures that actually project the physical reality we experience inside the headset. And this leads us to a massive, fundamental paradigm shift in how we view ourselves. The traditional scientific view, physicalism, assumes that the physical brain generates your consciousness, right? But Hoffman's mathematical models suggest, actually, scratch that, they suggest the exact opposite. Consciousness is the fundamental reality, and consciousness itself generates the physical brain. To put it as bluntly as possible, Hoffman argues that the brain is just another icon in your user interface. It's only rendered into physical existence when it's observed or scanned. You are not your brain. You are the transcendent consciousness that is actively rendering the brain. Section 4. Hacking reality for miracles. Now here's where the implications of this theory become truly mind-blowing. 2.4 million light-years. That is the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy. If we play by the rules of the space-time headset, a journey there is physically impossible using any current or foreseeable technology. It would literally take thousands of generations. But, and this is huge, if we step outside the space-time headset, everything changes. We don't have to travel through space at all. If space is just a rendered interface, we can simply edit the underlying code to instantly change our coordinates. Just like a programmer dragging and dropping an asset across a screen, we could rewrite our physical location in the cosmos. And this isn't just science fiction. By reverse engineering this headset, we open up an entire realm of technological miracles, what we might call God mode technologies. We're talking about instantaneous interstellar travel, altering the physics engine itself, operating completely free of our known physical laws to eradicate hardware limits entirely. The stakes of this research are absolutely massive. Hoffman points out that the power to edit reality from the outside makes our most destructive and advanced human technologies look like child's play. He says nuclear bombs will be like firecrackers compared to this. We're talking about gaining literal access to the root directory of existence. Which, brings us to a terrifying yet awe-inspiring question. Accessing the root code of the universe could unleash unimaginable horrors if we go in and alter the wrong parameters. Or it could elevate us to the level of the universe's programmers, eradicating disease, distance, and scarcity forever. It is the ultimate Pandora's box. I want to leave you with a final thought as we wrap up this explainer. If space-time is really just a headset shaped by evolution, and consciousness is the actual fundamental baseline of reality, then you aren't just the fragile player trapped inside the game. You are the infinite intelligence writing the code. The question is, all right.